All right. What's going on, everyone? You can see I'm solo today. Um, Me and Tim, our schedules just couldn't work out. And we wanted to get a recap out before the game tonight. Um, and you'll see why in a bit. We'll hopefully get together for a preview before the games on Sunday. But yeah, I didn't want anyone to think I was ducking. Uh, um, I was ducking anyone, so wanted to get a recap out. So yeah, I mean, we'll address the elephant in the room, and yeah, I mean, I'm in my office, so hopefully no one pops in here. Got my Cane's donuts, coffee, uh, terrific coffee, absolutely terrific coffee, uh, but no donuts. Trying to watch the weight a little bit. Throw out my straw too. Delicious. Don't even need cream sugar. It's black, perfect. All right. Ruffin braiding me. Now that what I'll say about that is that that's what we want. Maybe not to that extent, but me and Tim do these to get people talking about the league, to keep movement going, and that's exactly what happened. Yeah, I think it's working. People are clearly discussing the league when the games are happening on Sunday, so we like to have that involvement, and I just think it's good for the league. And look, I get it for Ruffin. You get your back blown in by 80 points the week before, and then the person that pummels you is questioning your roster decisions. Obviously, you're gonna feel some type of way losing by 80 like that. So I get it, and he showed up. Ruffin's a good GM in this league. He picked up a team that was down in the dumps and has basically played over 500 since drafting. Drafting Jamar Chase and Deebo Samuel that first draft, and holding on to those guys and being staples of his team ever since. So taking the team that was in the dumps and bringing him to the playoffs a couple times, and now getting his first one of the season. Um, he's clearly a good GM, so respect that. So yeah, we'll go through the games. Yeah, one thing I will say, um, as I'm bringing up the games here, this is good video. Me just looking at the games on my phone. Um, the way Ruffin was talking, I figured, Singletary must have had like a couple hundred yards, maybe a few touchdowns. He only had 16 points, so I feel like I'm a little justified in my decision there. And I'll make a guarantee here that 16.8, so sorry, that'll be the most points he has all season. So I implore Ruffin to continue starting. Yeah, we'll start with me. After a huge week last week, I come back and throw up an absolute dud. After talking about Ruff scoring 70 something points, I come back and can't even put up 75. I hope Carney feels good about that win. Getting 30 points from Josh Allen, and he was kind of giving me some lip, and he didn't even score 100 points with Josh Allen scoring 30. So uh, that was a little surprising. Richardson, got called out for it, but I think I have to sit him this week. I had so much hope after week one, but that was just tough. And Tim tried to warn me against Chicago's defense, but I just figured he'd start running the ball more, and that just hasn't been the case. Kamara did this thing. My receivers just didn't come to play. I don't know what's going on with Ayuk, but I gotta keep playing him because I know as soon as I bench him, he's gonna have his monster week. As for Carney, tougher. Laporta, I think he's fine though. I don't know. I think he's coming back either this week or next week, so not much to worry about. Same with Devontae Smith. I think it was just a concussion, not just a concussion, but he should be back within a week or two. So, good win for Carney. He gets to 2-1. And I dropped down to 2-1. One thing about this past week was all 3-0 teams lost. So no more undefeated teams. We got like fucking 6, 7, 2. We get 7, 2-1 teams, which is crazy. Um, and Tim with a huge win against Tyler. Those are two rivals. Like they play each other in the finals at least once, maybe twice. Um, and Donnie, he's got injuries, but he didn't perform. His team didn't step up. It sucks because we'll talk about the preview, I'm sure, later on, but CeeDee Lamb's had a couple okay, like not great game last week, okay game the week before, so he's Tyler's playing me this week, so I know CeeDee Lamb's just gonna go fucking nuclear tonight, which sucks, but is what it is. I mean, nothing Tyler really could have done. I guess starting Zach Moss is probably the play over Pollard, but even then he wasn't gonna beat Tim. Tim had a massive game thanks to Neighbors. Neighbors looks like an absolute home run pick. And same to Rasheed Rice. Rasheed Rice looks like a top 10 receiver. So Tim still can't figure out which quarterback to start. He started the wrong quarterback 3 weeks in a row, and I'm sure he's going to start Daniels this week. I think they're actually playing each other this week, Daniels and Kyler. So I'll be interested to see who he plays. Both these teams I expect to be playoff teams. So tough week for Donnie, but the injuries are going to slow down for him. Contender for greasiest win of the year. Jill beats Kevin by 5 points, less than 5 points, and neither team scores 90. Not much to say here. They both had two stud running backs, Barkley and Henry, kind of take up the majority of their points. Kevin's got to feel really good about his running backs right now with Barkley and Cook, and same with Jill with oh sorry, not Barkley and Cook, Henry and Cook, and same to Jill with Barkley and Achane. Um, Jill's got to start being concerned about um, Mark Andrews. Sorry that his snaps have really dropped week to week, but pretty sure she picked up Evan Ingram. So be interested to see if she starts Ingram going forward. Still wait to see if Andrews can do anything. Tough week for the Fairbairn crew. Sorry, Kev. I jinxed them 0 points this past week. It's gonna be tough to be kicker one of the season if you're throwing up a 0 point game. Kevin, someone else who had injuries, so I expect him to bounce back these next couple weeks. And Jill, 2-1, third place, it looks like. So her team continues to perform, and she's got some bench players kind of filling those holes where she's had a couple duds with Worthy and Andrews. Then we'll go to Ryan and Hermes. Big win for Ryan. These are the two teams that have the worst winning percentages in league history. So battle of the gutter. But Ryan's showing he's a player this year. Especially Marvin Harrison's going to put up decent points. Jefferson looks like he's not losing a beat with Darnold, and Kyle Williams 30-point game. That's just massive. So it's a huge week for Ryan. Hermes again. I love his lineup every week, but just never can get over that hump. Not sure what it is. This week it was Jacobs, Rashid Shaheed. I know he was tinkering with this lineup all week, and Shaheed putting him 0. That's tough to swallow. Which I think he was deciding between Ridley, and Ridley didn't do too much either. Obviously, it would nice to get Terry in there, but McLaurin hadn't been playing well, so you wouldn't expect him to get him in there. He needed to see that first, so I expect McLaurin to be in his lineup for these coming weeks. And then the biggest game of the week, which team was going to go 0-3 with Rashid and Ruff, and Ruff stepped up as we talked about earlier. Jamar Chase, he was due for a pop-off game and finally came. Metcalf has been fantastic. And then Dallas Goddard. We were with Rashid while Goddard was tearing up the Saints, and yeah, what a play by Ruff, and just tough week for Rashid. I mean, he put up 100 points. Always classic when you start, you're not doing well when you start questioning like how we're doing the standings in the league. I think Rashid sent a text like we need to start doing like the highest points in the week maybe gets a point too. That's a text I expect from Norris. So it's good to see that someone might be taking the Norris role with Rashid here. Yeah, not much else besides that. Good week. And I'm sorry to pile on Rashid. Maybe Rashid's the one that's gonna be berating me next week, but Hermes and Rashid both being 0-3. These are the two teams that have been 0-3 the most in league history. I think this is Rashid's third time and Hermes' fifth time. It's tough. And as I mentioned, only two teams came back from 0-3 deficits. Both of them are me, not the two-round horn. It hasn't happened since 2015. Obviously, we have the extra game now, so the odds might change a little bit on that, but yeah. still, it's gonna be an uphill battle for both of them, but they both have good teams, and I said it last week about Hermes' team, and I'll say it again, I trade my roster for Hermes and Rashid's roster right now, so I expect them to start piling up wins, whether it's sooner or later. So yeah, just wanted to get this out. Oh, I wanted to show, shout out to Tyler for giving me a shout out about my prop bet hitting last week. We got a bet for this week. This is my lock. That's not going to be good. I'll send the screenshot, but it's Devin Singletary under 16.5 yards tonight. 55 to win 105. All right. Hopefully I can get this to Tim. He can upload it. He's the one that's good with YouTube. That's a deep cut. But yeah, thanks guys. And talk to you soon.